Hello dear students, welcome back to the second session of the topic word order. In the previous session, we have learnt the basic sentence structure in English, that is subject, verb and object. And we have also seen the different patterns of word order in English. And we have also understood how to rearrange jumbled words or phrases to make affirmative sentences. Well, in this session, we will learn how to rearrange words to make negative sentences, and we will also learn how to place time expression in a sentence. And at the end, we will also learn how to rearrange segments or jumbled words to form questions. If you are ready, let's get into the lesson. Now let us move on to the next question pattern, that is rearranging of words to make negative sentences. In negative sentences, the basic word order for subject, verb and object is the same as in positive statements or sentences. For example, John has gone to school. So this is a positive statement, or this is the positive sentence. So the negative form of this sentence is John has not gone to school. The difference is that the negative sentence must contain the word not, and it should be the part of verb phrase. It can be a part of primary auxiliary verbs. So before that, let us understand what auxiliary verbs are. Auxiliary verbs are used along with the main verb to complete the action. There are two varieties of auxiliary verbs. They are the primary auxiliary verbs and the modal auxiliary verbs. The primary auxiliary verbs come under the forms of be, have and do. Under be, you have am, is, are, was and were. Under have, you have, has and had. Under do, you have do, does and did. Now the word not can be a part of the primary auxiliary verb. For example, she had not arrived in time for lunch. Similarly, in the next sentence, he was not reading your book. So notice that in these two sentences, the primary auxiliary verbs had and was are placed before the word not, and these two words are followed by the main verb. They are arrived and reading. And the word not can also be a part of modal auxiliary verb. For example, he may not want to come. In the next sentence, she could not see the road clearly. So notice that in these two sentences, the modal verbs may and could are preceded or placed before the word not, and these two words, that means the modal verbs and the word not, are followed by the main verbs want and see. And the word not can also be a part of verb be For example, that is not my book. So the word not can also be a part of verb be when verb be is used as the main verb. So here is the sentence, that is not my book. The verb be, that is placed before the word not. And one more important thing we need to understand here is that the verb be, that is used as the main verb. So the word not can be added immediately after a primary auxiliary verb or a modal verb followed by the base form of the main verb. The word order is therefore subject plus auxiliary or modal verb plus not plus main verb. So this is the sentence structure to these sentences. Subject plus auxiliary or modal plus not plus main verb. A negative sentence may also contain a modal auxiliary verb and one or more primary auxiliary verbs. In that case, the word not comes between a modal auxiliary verb and one or more primary auxiliary verbs. For example, I may not have gone by the time you arrived. They could not have seen her. They could not have seen her. They should not have been playing in the road. So notice that in all these sentences, the word not is placed between the modal auxiliary verb and one or more primary auxiliary verb. Here in the first sentence, the word not is placed between a modal auxiliary verb, that is may, and primary auxiliary verb have, and in the second sentence the word not is placed again between the modal auxiliary verb and primary auxiliary verb, and in the third sentence also you can see the word not is placed between a modal auxiliary verb, that is should, and two auxiliary verbs here, have and been. Two primary auxiliary verbs, they are have and been followed by the main verb play. So in the above two sentences also you can see the primary auxiliary verbs are placed before the main verb gone and seen. So gone and seen are the main verbs preceded by the primary auxiliary verbs have and have. So notice that in all these three sentences the word not is placed between a modal auxiliary verb and one or more primary auxiliary verbs. So in this case the word order is subject plus modal plus not plus primary auxiliaries plus main verb. So in this case, the word order is subject plus modal plus not, and then comes primary auxiliary verb or verbs if it is more than one, and then you have main verb. Okay, the next important thing we need to remember is that if the verb phrase does not contain any of these primary auxiliary verbs or modal verbs, then it is necessary to add the supporting auxiliary verb do or have. The present simple and the past simple tenses of the main verb take the appropriate form of the verb do or have, and then add the word not followed by the base form of the main verb. For example, he runs. The negative form of this sentence is he does not run. He ran. He did not run. Similarly, in the next sentence, Prasad does not work overtime. And in the next sentence, she has not been to work all week. And they have not been to work all week. The word order is therefore subject plus do or have auxiliary plus not plus main verb. The contracted form of the word not can be used after every primary auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb except I am. For example, instead of saying he does not run, you can say he doesn't run. So instead of saying he did not run, you can say he didn't run. Similarly, Prasad doesn't work overtime. Instead of saying she has not been to work all week, you can say she hasn't been to work all week, or they haven't been to work all week. Okay, let's do some exercises from the workbook, page number 17, second main. Again, you have 10 questions. So you have to arrange these jumbled words or phrases to make negative sentences, and you have to place the time expression at the end of each sentences. Now I have taken 3 questions here, and you can see the words in each sentences are jumbled or mixed up. So what we have to do is we have to arrange these jumbled words to make negative sentences. In the first sentence you have words like to a party, not, we, tonight, going, are. Now we know the rules, we know the sentence structure when we use modal verbs or primary auxiliary verbs, and we also know how to rearrange words when we have both modal verbs and primary auxiliary verbs. So let us solve the first question. Here we have the subject we are not going to a party. Don't forget to put the full stop at the end. In the next sentence, you have words like will, the letter, not, next week, send, you, she. So when we write it in an order, we have the subject she will not, she will not send you the letter next week. And in the third sentence, you have words like eat in winter, ice cream, do, not, I. So we have the subject I do not eat ice cream in winter. So notice that in all these sentences, the time expression is placed at the end of each sentences. Now let us move on to the next pattern of word order, that is rearranging of words or segments to form questions. Interrogative sentences are used to frame questions. It contains or it starts with a verb phrase followed by a subject. There are two main types of questions. The first one, those can be answered with yes or no. We also call it yes or no questions. And those can be answered with a specific piece of information or a sentence. We also call it WH questions. Each type of questions has its specific word order. First, let us understand yes or no questions. Questions that expect the answer yes or no are called yes or no type questions. So the basic word order for this type of interrogatives is modal auxiliary verb or primary auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb in its base form. And don't forget to put question mark at the end of each sentences because we are framing the questions here. For example, is she working very hard? Have they eaten yet? Should I open the window? Notice that all these sentences started or began with verb phrases or began with verbs such as is, have and should. We have one example from be and we have one example from have and we have one example from modal verbs, that is should. When a sentence does not contain any of these modal auxiliary verbs or primary auxiliary verbs, then the question can be formed by placing the appropriate form of the supporting auxiliary verb do before the subject followed by the base form of the main verb. For example, does he enjoy tennis? Do they play a lot? Did she complete her homework? Yes or no questions also have negative forms. Negative yes or no questions are always contracted and it comes before the subject. For example, doesn't he like talking about his childhood? Don't you speak Hindi? Wouldn't you like to know more about the game? Can't Ravi have one too? Now let us move on to the next type of questions, that is WH questions. When you want to get a detailed answer, not just yes or no, you must use WH questions which allows for many possible answers. The words who, whom, whose, what, which, when, where, why and who are used to form this sort of questions. These words are referred as WH words. When you frame questions in yes or no format, the questions and answers will be like this. If you ask question, did you ring the bell? You can expect the answer yes or no, or simply you can say yes I did. If you ask the question, was she alright in the end? You can say yes or no. You cannot say more than that, or simply you can say I don't know. Similarly, if you ask the question, have you seen Mukesh yet? You can expect the answer yes or no again, or simply you can say yes I have. But if you frame questions in WH format, the questions and answers will be like this. If you ask the question, who is that man? He is my computer science teacher or he is my maths teacher. If you ask the question, what did he say when you told him the news? You can expect the answer like this. He was too surprised to say anything. Here you cannot expect the answers yes or no because these answers will be much longer than yes or no. Similarly, If you ask the question, where is Peter going? You can expect the answer, Peter is going for work, or Peter is going for shopping. Why have you stopped running? You can expect the answer, the doctor told me to. Okay, let us do some exercises from the workbook, page number 18. You have 16 questions here. Let us take few questions and solve them. So here you have to arrange segments or arrange words to form questions. Okay, here I have taken 4 examples from the workbook, and you can see the words are jumbled in each sentences. The words are mixed up, so you have to rearrange these jumbled words to form questions. In the first question, you have words like Mara, tie, the creeper, to a tree, why did. So this question is from the WH format. So you can start with why did. Why did, then comes the subject, Mara, tie, the verb, the creeper, to a tree, and put question mark at the end. Why did Mara tie the creeper to a tree? In the second question, you have words like who the window broke. So again you have question from WH format. We can start with who. Who broke the window. Who broke the window? In the next sentence, you have words like conduct classes where Babar Ali does. So again you have question from WH format. So we can start with where. Where does Babar Ali conduct classes? Put question mark. And in the next sentence, we have words like she did her homework complete. We have already seen this example. So here you can see the yes or no type question. Did she complete her homework? So you can expect the answer yes or no here. So the correct word order is did she complete her homework, and question mark at the end. For this question, the answer would be either yes or no. Alright students, I'll conclude my session here. In this session, we have learned how to rearrange words or phrases or segments to make negative sentences, and we have also learned how to rearrange segments to form questions, and we have also learned how to rearrange words or phrases to make affirmative sentences, and we have also learned how to place time expression in a sentence. And what you have to do is you solve all the questions which is given in the workbook related to the topic word order and send it back to us. I'll stop my session here. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you.